Okay, in this video, I'm going to try and tackle what I thought was the hardest word problem in this unit, Unit 3.3. We're looking at the rain gutter problem. Okay, now it says rain gutter is to be made from sheet metal of width 42 centimeters by bending up 1/3 of the sheet through an angle of theta. And we're going to bend up 1/3 of the sheet on each side of it. So we've got a little bit of a diagram up here on the board, and we're asked to find the cross section of the area, okay, in terms of theta. And to actually give you the function, they ask you to show you that it's equal to what we're going to come up with. Now, what you have here is a trapezoid. And you need to know that the area of a trapezoid is going to be 1/2 of the big base plus the little base times the height. Okay? Now, the height of this is that distance there, or this distance here. Okay? And I'm going to call this big B, we're going to call this little b. Alright? Now, what I'd like to do is get an expression for big B, get an expression for little b that's involving theta and 14. Okay? Now, if you look at it, you can construct a right triangle. The right triangle is going to be the same on both sides. So, the length here, well, alright, first we need to do a little bit of geometry. Because this angle here is theta, we know that this angle here is theta. And we can do the same thing here. This is also going to be theta. Alright? Now, what I'm trying to do is come up with an expression for B. Now, I know that from here to here is 14 centimeters. So that's going to be 14 plus 2 times the distance from here to here, because I'm going to have the same over here. Well, if you stop and think about it, looking at this right triangle that's on the inside here, the height, h, is going to be opposite over the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is going to be 14. The adjacent side is what we're after. The cosine of theta is going to be the adjacent over 14. So we can say 2 times 14 times the cosine of theta. Okay, and that gives me an expression for the big base B. All right. Now that comes out to be 14 plus 2 times 14 is 28 cosines of theta. All right. Now little b is just 14. Now let's talk about h. Well, if you stop and think about it, h is going to be, like I said a while ago, the sine of theta is the opposite over the hypotenuse, so the sine of theta is going to be h over 14. So h is going to be 14 times the sine of theta. Okay? Alright, so now let's see if we can come up with an expression for the area in terms of theta. So what we have is 1/2 big B. Alright, big B is going to be 14 plus 28 cosines of theta. So we have 14 plus 28 cosines of theta plus little b. Well, little b is simply going to be 14. And then times the height. Well, we said the height was 14 times the sine of theta. So we get 14 sines of theta there. All right. Now, let's simplify this a little bit. 14 plus 14 inside parentheses gives me 28. I can take this 14 over here, 14 divided by 2 times 28 plus 28 cosines of theta times sine theta. Okay? Alright, now 14 over 2 is 7, so we have 7. We can factor 28 out of that, so 7 times 28, and then what do we have left? 1 plus cosine of theta times sine theta. Okay? Now, 7 times 28, I'm going to cheat using my calculator here. 7 times 28 is 196. So this is 196 times 1 plus cosine theta times sine theta. And if you look at that, do a little bit of algebra on it, it turns into the same thing that they want you to derive. Okay? or to show that this is equal to. So this is 196, and then we have times sine theta plus cosine theta times sine theta. Multiplying the sine theta inside parentheses there, make it look a little more like what they asked for. Okay, now for part B, they ask you to graph this. Just use your calculator to do that with. C, they ask you to find the maximum area. What angle gives you the maximum area? Well, it's going to be about 60 degrees on this example, and I think it's going to be about the same almost all of them. And it should make sense to you. The maximum area is going to give you the maximum volume in your rain gutter. Okay? But you can use your calculator to find the maximum also. All right, good luck. Go do some math.